Big story about Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton's remarks during paid speeches to Goldman Sachs and Deutsche Bank and Morgan Stanley and other groups and banks were leaked over the weekend by Wikileaks and Julian Assange. The excerpts are revealed in an email that was written to John Podesta, the campaign chairman for Hillary Clinton. Now, I have to tell you, I think the Republicans messed up this entire speech thing, because there are statements from these emails which confirm what we all knew. Hillary Clinton is a center left to center right, status quo, plutocratic Democrat. And we knew that already. And for example, there is a quote of Hillary Clinton admitting that she is out of touch because she's been rich for a long time. Hillary Clinton saying you need to have a private and public position on policy. Hillary Clinton making comments that are not hugely anti-trade deal. What's surprising about this? This has been my critique of Hillary Clinton all along. Talking about middle-class anxieties, Clinton said, I'm kind of far removed from that because my husband and I have lived a pretty privileged economic life for a while. Talking to Goldman Sachs bankers, saying that it's necessary to involve the industry because people in the industry know best about what should be done within the industry. That is a very deferential comment to Wall Street and Goldman Sachs. But we knew that. We knew that. And that is something we knew about Hillary Clinton. She gave a speech in April of 2013 to Morgan Stanley where she praised the Simpson-Bowles deficit reduction plan, which would reduce corporate tax rates and raise the Social Security age. This is exactly what we've known about Hillary Clinton for years. Remember the leaked audio from last week where she says, I see myself occupying center left to center right. Center left, right, putative progressivism is basically status quo corporate plutocrats who are socially liberal. That's what we're dealing with here. Hillary Clinton is completely predictable. She'll do some seemingly progressive things under the social issues umbrella. Things will be basically status quo with regard to most areas of the economy and financial regulation. And foreign policy will be moderately neoliberal. Everything in these speeches confirms that. There are no bombshells in these speeches unless you've not been paying attention. And I actually read more of the emails than just what was cherry-picked by some people. And there's actually stuff in there also that really isn't bad. I mean, Hillary Clinton, there's a quote which I'll put up for you here, where Hillary Clinton actually said that we have to recognize that we have to rely on the market's transparency and integrity, even if it may not be 100% true. If the perception is that somehow the game is rigged, that should be a problem for all of us, and we have to be willing to make that absolutely clear. If there are issues, if there's wrongdoing, people have to be held accountable, and we have to try to deter future bad behavior. That's Hillary Clinton to Deutsche Bank, not exactly saying, I don't care what Wall Street does. Here's another example from these emails, which is really not that bad. Here's Hillary Clinton talking about healthcare and health insurance, saying, if you look at countries that are comparable, like Switzerland or Germany, for example, they have mixed systems. They don't have just single payer, but they have very clear controls over budgeting and accountability. If you look at the single payer systems like Scandinavia, Canada, and elsewhere, they can get costs down because, you know, although their care, according to statistics, overall is as good as better or as good or better on primary care in particular, they do impose things like waiting times. It takes longer to get like a hip replacement than it might here. This is not exactly right, but this is not crazy right-wing talk. And I think, Pat, that this backfired because what the angle on this should have been Hillary got rich giving speeches to banks based solely on being a politician. That's really the critique I would make. But Republicans can't make that critique because they get rich the same way. And the content of these emails, I've been paying attention. This is exactly what we expected about Hillary Clinton.
Absolutely. And she uses kind of coded, deliberate language. She does it kind of subtly, too. But she's still communicating the message that she's not going to rock the boat and she's not going to be a proponent of change for this sort of thing.
When we look at what Hillary Clinton has said to the public, it's abundantly clear that she is a status quo, moderate politician, slightly to the left of moderate Republicans. When we now see what Hillary Clinton said to the Wall Street firms and the banks, etc., we see that, yes, she uses a slightly different vocabulary when talking to them, but even still, she is completely predictable in terms of what we can expect with Hillary Clinton as president. Do I champion this? Am I blind to the reality that Hillary Clinton is not a progressive Democrat? Of course not. Of course not. But if you were counting on bombshells from these speeches, that has now been completely deflated. And I don't know what we're going to get out of these speeches that we didn't already know. And I think that Republicans now have absolutely nothing because, number one, they are guilty of all the exact same stuff to a worse degree. And number two, they can't critique the fact that she did the speeches because they do the exact same thing.